Now at 11, you vote by mail, we have information on an important change.
My biggest fear is that there's going to be some accident at this well and we're not going to know about it.
Drilling for oil in local backyards, a community has safety concerns.
I'm Mark Johnson. Dry weather in place for now, but you know, it's not going to last long. I'll tell you when to expect the rain.
And a health checklist to make sure your child is ready for school.
News Channel 5, on your side, starts now.
After nearly half a century, Muammar Gaddafi's ruthless and inflexible rule over the Libyan people is nearly finished. As ABC's John Hendren reports, rebel forces have moved into Tripoli and now command much of the capital, including Green Square, along the symbolic heart of the Gaddafi regime.
In Tripoli, rebel flags in a scent of victory. Here in the U.S., President Obama declared it all but over.
The situation is still very fluid. There remains a degree of uncertainty, and there are still regime elements who pose a threat. But this much is clear. The Gaddafi regime is coming to an end.
But the streets remain perilous, as BBC reporters discovered. They were driving into the capital with rebels when they were fired on. State television has gone dark. Muammar Gaddafi is missing.
What's clear is that the rebels are winning.
Pentagon officials say they believe Gaddafi has not left Libya, but where he is within that country is anyone's guess. The president seemed to give Gaddafi one last chance to relinquish power peacefully.
Although it's clear that Gaddafi's rule is over, he still has the opportunity to reduce further bloodshed by explicitly relinquishing power to the people of Libya.
A senior Obama administration official says Gaddafi is now a head of state who is in charge of nothing. Pro-Gaddafi units are keeping up the fight, but the space they're operating in is shrinking. John Hendren, ABC News.
Former Georgia Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney led a delegation of journalists to Libya earlier this summer on a fact-finding mission, and tonight she was in Cleveland to share some of her observations during a lecture at Cleveland State University.
When NATO started bombing during the day, it was hard to move because you didn't know if the road that you're on is going to get a bomb dropped on it. The Libyan fishermen were not allowed to go out into Libyan waters to fish, so the fishing industry went down.
McKinney believes the Libyan people are suffering terribly from loss of life and the damage to the country's infrastructure caused by NATO's bombings. Stay with News Channel 5 and Newsnet5.com for continuing coverage on the battle for Libya. Nightline will have a report following our newscast, and Good Morning Cleveland will have the latest developments from overnight starting at 4:30 a.m. Chief Meteorologist Mark Johnson joins us now with the very latest on Hurricane Irene. Where is it now, Mark?
All right, Irene is strengthening rapidly, folks. Keep an eye on this one. She is getting bigger. Let's go to our Power of 5 live Doppler network radar. Now a Category 2 hurricane. That as of 8 p.m. this evening. Maximum sustained winds at 100 miles per hour. And folks, it's not going to take her long to strengthen into a Category 3 storm. That would be winds above 111 miles per hour. I would expect that to happen either by late morning tomorrow or early afternoon tomorrow. Here's the track of Irene. Take a look. Right here is, let's see, there's San Juan, Puerto Rico, and right here is Hispaniola. It's really not being detoured much by the mountains here on Hispaniola. So guess what? It's going to continue to strengthen. There it is, a Cat 3 by Tuesday, 8 p.m. And believe it or not, folks, as it heads through the Bahamas, take a look right here. Look at this. Brand new information by Thursday, 8 p.m. The National Hurricane Center predicts a Category 4 major hurricane and making landfall as a Category 3 near Wilmington, North Carolina by the end of the week. This is brand new information. This is going to be a major hurricane impacting the U.S. by the end of the week. We'll have much more in our forecast coming up.
Scary stuff. Thank you, Mark. Storm is brewing right here in Ohio over voting by mail. News Channel 5's Deborah Lee is live at the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections to tell us about this ballot controversy. Deb, really the big question here is, will it really make it more difficult for people to cast their ballots?
Now, you're still going to be able to vote by mail. You're not going to get the application for the absentee ballot by mail unless you ask for it. And that's what's causing the concern among some as to what that's going to mean to voting here in Cuyahoga County. Election day last May in Cuyahoga County, not the chaos that it once was.
There weren't long lines. There weren't people waiting until 9, 10 o'clock at night to vote.
But Cuyahoga County Executive Ed Fitzgerald fears a return to those days of long lines and problems at the polls if a directive issued by the Ohio Secretary of State stands. The order prohibits county boards of elections from sending voters unsolicited absentee ballot applications. When voters get those applications in the mail, more people vote by mail instead of at the polls.
It's like the highway. The highway can be fine, but if you get too many cars, everything stops. And so we're trying to pull some of those cars, some of those voters off of the highway on election day and kind of divert them in another way.
We've gone from having elections 10 years ago, where only 10% of the people on average were voting by mail, to elections where 50% were voting by mail.
The Secretary of State's directive followed a vote on the issue by the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections that was deadlocked along party lines. The goal of the directive to provide uniformity and equal access to the ballot from county to county. Voters can still vote by mail, but they'll have to take it upon themselves to get the application. However, Fitzgerald intends to find out if the county itself can send out the applications, since the Board of Elections can't.
He doesn't necessarily have jurisdiction over the rest of county government. So we're going to be looking at how we could do this, because this is the wrong call. This is a mistake.
And so for now, anyone who wants to vote absentee, vote by mail, you can either go online, you can call the Board of Elections, or you can go to the public library, and all of those people can tell you how to get an absentee ballot. Live downtown, Deborah Lee, News Channel 5.
Good information. Thanks, Deb. New at 11, a group of Broadview Heights residents calling themselves Mothers Against Drilling Oil Wells are speaking out against what is happening in their neighborhoods. They attended this city council meeting tonight to voice their concerns about safety. Broadview Heights has 86 oil and gas wells. Many are right in backyards. Residents are afraid of explosions, hazardous chemicals, and the potential long-term consequences of fracking. The groups want special training for firefighters, a no-tolerance policy for fireworks, and a notification procedure for accidents.
We're drowning in gas and oil wells, and I don't have the peace of mind anymore to live where I live, especially to keep my son safe. And I'm not being dramatic about it. It's just the fact of my life right now, and I need to start making decisions.
City officials can't stop the drilling because state law allows wells to be drilled as close as 100 feet from a home. Mothers Against Drilling Oil Wells plan to take its fight to Columbus and get that distance changed to 3,000 feet. You won't believe what you can now buy online. Soil that's supposedly from Anthony Sowell's Imperial Avenue home is for sale. A website that focuses on items from serial killers listed 1-gram bags of dirt for $25. We have a link to it on our website, newsnet5.com. The site also sold letters written by Sowell last year. He was convicted of murdering 11 women and sentenced to die for his crimes. Police discovered the bodies in and around Sowell's home in October 2009. Tonight, the FBI is looking for a man they say robbed a PNC bank. Take a close look at these surveillance photos. The robbery happened this afternoon at the bank inside Giant Eagle in the Warren Village Shopping Center in Cleveland. Investigators say the man passed a note to the teller demanding cash. No one was hurt. All inpatient emergency and trauma services ended today at Huron Hospital in East Cleveland, but outpatient care continues through October 3rd. That's when the Cleveland Clinic Huron Community Health Center will open. The clinic says it will offer better health care to meet the changing needs of the community around Huron Hospital, but many people we talked to are upset to see the 137-year-old hospital close.
It's really sad, devastating. and it's a hurt to the community and to the area for them to close the hospital. I've been coming here for 40-some years.
Patients who need emergency care can go elsewhere in the Cleveland Clinic health system. Tomorrow, Progressive Field will go to the dogs, literally. Tribe fans can bring their four-legged friends to the ballpark to enjoy the Indians versus Mariners game. The Cleveland Indians announced today that Puppy Palooza is sold out. A portion of proceeds from the doggy-driven event will benefit the Cleveland Animal Protective League.
There are so many jokes that I could start here about the Puppy Palooza and who's going to pick up never mind. All right, we're going to talk about when the next rains will arrive, plus will Irene be a major Category 4 hurricane as it makes landfall in the U.S.? Find out coming up.
Next, get ready for a spirited show. A Patrick Swayze classic heads to Broadway. Caught surfing the web at work? Why you can tell your boss you're just boosting productivity.
Broken hearts healed by getting hitched. How Tying the Knot can help heart surgery patients.
Next.
Tomorrow, filming for the Avengers movie moves to Parma for the next 2 days. Crews will be shooting at the Chevy Powertrain building on Chevrolet Boulevard. Today, explosions and gunfire lit up East 9th Street in downtown Cleveland. We're told the movie crew will also film scenes of exploding fireballs shooting some 30 feet into the air in Parma. There will be some intermittent traffic closures on Chevrolet Boulevard during filming. More information on the Avengers shooting schedule is on our website, newsnet5.com. If you check out the filming, send us your photos, or if you spot any stars around town, send us those shots too. We would love to see them. Email your shots to 5pics@newsnet5.com. Do you surf the web at work when your boss isn't looking? Research shows a brief web browsing break can actually help you be more productive. That's what I think. When employees get back to work after a web break, they are more focused, excited, interested, alert, and active. Why? Well, if you check on your favorite sports team, do some shopping, or even play a quick game online, you are getting a much-needed break. And if you take a web break, you will likely produce more results than your coworkers who just plow through the workday. Many companies still see this as a distraction and keep tabs on their employees. But researchers say workers do not feel valued or trusted when they're closely watched. However, workers should be cautious about spending too much time writing emails that may keep them from getting their work done. The 1990 film Ghost is coming to Broadway. The musical, based on the popular movie, debuted in June in London. It will begin previews in New York in March. No word on who the show stars will be just yet. In the Oscar-winning movie, the late Patrick Swayze played a ghost trying to communicate with his girlfriend through a not-so-fake psychic played by Whoopi Goldberg. Apple has ordered key parts for its new iPad 3. It hopes to launch in early 2012. The next generation tablet is expected to feature a high-resolution display. The company reported huge profits for its fiscal third, which ended in June after selling more than 9 million units during the quarter. We all know emergencies can happen anywhere, anytime, even at school. So as kids head back to the class, doctors recommend parents put together a health checklist just in case the unexpected happens. As students return to school for another year, the American College of Emergency Physicians has put together a checklist for parents and guardians to help make sure their children stay healthy. Most of the tips are pretty simple. Make sure your child's medical records are updated and available to the school, along with your full contact information. This should include information on any medication your child is taking, along with any allergies or special needs and whether the school can administer certain drugs to your child. If your child does have allergies, make sure you and the school nurse have an action plan to treat your child as quickly as possible should they have a reaction. Do a dry run with your child on their route to school, looking for potential hazards. If your child walks to school, make sure he or she knows how to cross a street, knows not to talk to strangers, and what to do if they are approached by someone they don't know. If your child takes the bus, make sure he or she has a consistent pickup and drop-off point that can clearly be seen by adults. Develop a family emergency plan in case something happens. Make sure your child has all necessary contact information and knows how to use 911. All good tips to keep students safe throughout the school year. Walking down the aisle could be great for your health. Researchers say marriage has several health benefits like greater longevity, less stress, and a lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and depression. Now a new study suggests you can add another benefit to the list, a better survival rate after heart surgery. Overall, the study says people who were married when they had bypass surgery were 2.5 times more likely to be alive 15 years later than their unmarried counterparts. A Utah boy learned the hard way that it's best to leave the chimney climbing to Santa. The adventurous 8-year-old wandered away from home, climbed a tree, hopped onto a roof, and slid into the chimney of a home a few blocks away from his house. He then became trapped between the ground floor and fireplace in the basement. The home's owners discovered the boy about 4 to 6 hours later. Firefighters had to cut a hole in the home's wall and remove the cement behind it to pull him to safety. We have new video from Iowa where some students had to take an unusual ride to school today. The National Guard stepped in to rescue the children after their school bus got caught in floodwaters. The bus stalled, trying to make it through about 4 feet of water. No one was hurt.
Scanning the sky with 5 live radars, this is your Power of 5 Doppler Network weather.
And school does begin for a lot of young folks tomorrow, and definitely most everybody's back to school on Wednesday. So we're going to get you in the mood here. Take a look now. Power of 5. Do I hear a cheer from parents everywhere across northern Ohio? Yeah, I got you. Here we go. Live radar, no rain. Yeah, we're going to stay dry tonight, tomorrow. How much longer do you want to dry? Okay, we'll try and keep you dry even through Wednesday, all right? Here we go to our big board weather maps now. Dry weather here, cloud cover, few high clouds here and there floating by, but I think a mainly clear sky should cover everybody through tonight and tomorrow morning's rush hour. 67 degrees Cleveland, humidity 59%. Look at those dew points. They're low, 52. A very comfortable night. Again, today was almost a little fall-like where we saw highs in the lower and middle 70s. We should be right around 80 degrees for this time of year, but cooler than normal. Dew point 53 in Akron, currently 57 degrees with a calm wind. McDonald's neighborhood temperatures, 57 Dover, 62 Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's 58 in Youngstown. Jefferson already down to 55. Now, from Jefferson to Youngstown, follow Route 30 through Canton all the way over toward Ashland and Mansfield. This is the corridor right here where you could easily see upper 40s when you get up and go tomorrow morning. So a little bit of a chill in the air, but don't worry, it'll be a nice recovery tomorrow. We've got high pressure right here sliding in. It'll slide across the state tonight and linger through the day tomorrow. So again, dry tomorrow. Good news for anything outdoors you have planned. There it is. There's the high. Watch it go that way. Sunshine behind it, but the winds will begin to shift around to the south by late tomorrow. So tomorrow will be warmer than today, and then on Wednesday, I think middle 80s, maybe even some upper 80s. So a little spike in those temps again. Then the cold front arrives and brings the threat for rain and thunder on Thursday. Here is Irene beginning to develop a closed circulation. An eye is beginning to form. Category 2 storm. As it goes by Miami, it'll be a Category 4 monster hurricane. Looks like it's going to make landfall near Wilmington, North Carolina, sometime early Saturday morning. It could shift its track. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on things here. Tonight, 56, clear skies and cool, a west wind at 5 to 10. Tuesday for the Cedar Point Riders, let's do 77 degrees, sunny skies. Should be a great day to head to the peninsula there. Tuesday, 79, mostly sunny and definitely beautiful. Oh, we're back to Cedar Point. I think Andre Knott wants to see Cedar Point again.
Yeah, Demon
Sunny
Drop.
skies, warm eyes to Demon Drop. I want the 7-day, okay? Mostly sunny, warmer. Akron tonight, 51. Tomorrow, 79. Here's the extended. Notice a little bit of rain Thursday, and then the weekend, phenomenal, near 80 with sunshine. UV index tomorrow, an 8.
Wow. Well, we may have bad winters, but at least we don't have hurricanes
We don't
like
have
down
hurricanes.
south.
No, it will not be affecting us at all.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing, but I feel sorry for the folks down south.
We could have rained out a ball game tonight, right?
It would have helped out tremendously if we had had a little rain over Progressive Field. But also, Joe Thomas, Browns left tackle, he got paid. I mean, he hit the jackpot, the jackpot of all jackpots. I'll tell you how well he got paid when we come back, because I'll have details of the new contract for Joe Thomas. And yeah, we'll talk about the Tribe. They had another tough one over at Progressive Field. We'll have all that and more when we come back. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You got. Yes. We're 20. Let's drop the. Tell you what, I can. Give me one
Wouldn't
sec.
it be so fun to have all that money and just do cool stuff?
I know, and he does, but. Browns owner Randy Lerner opened up the checkbook this evening, and he locked up the franchise left tackle long term. According to multiple reports, the Browns have signed Joe Thomas to a 7-year, $84 million extension with $44 million guaranteed. Thomas has played in every game since the Browns selected him with the 3rd overall pick out of Wisconsin back in 2007. Thomas is a 4-time Pro Bowl selection and a 2-time first-team All-Pro selection. Along with Thomas, Colt McCoy is happy knowing his blind side will be protected for years to come. Browns fans, you only have one more chance to see the team practice. That's tomorrow morning at 8:45. Training camp will close to the public after tomorrow, so make sure you get out there for that. All right, let's get over to Progressive Field, where the Indians began their longest homestand of the year. It's an 11-game homestand. It starts with 4 games in the next 41 hours against former manager Eric Wedge and the Seattle Mariners. And the Mariners wasted no time jumping on Fausto Carmona as Ichiro led the game off with his 3rd homer of the season, 1-zip Seattle. Bottom of the 2nd, though, 2 down, 2 up Mariners. Lou Marson gets to try back on the board with a single to center. Carlos Santana scores. Then Ezekiel Carrera singles the opposite way to left. Jack Hanahan scores, ties the game up at 2. The score will remain that way until the 9th. Chris Perez, facing former Indian Franklin Gutierrez, flies out to center. Miguel Olivio would come home and slide, maybe safely. He was called safe. Indians lose 3-2. It's their 4th straight loss. Fausto goes 6 innings, allowing 2 runs, 1 earned, and struck out 6. Tribe and Mariners will play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow.
Just because you don't win a ball game doesn't mean your attitude has changed. And these guys are getting after it. I can't complain about effort. I mean, the effort is there.
Field, the Tribe plays Travis Hafner in the 15-day DL this afternoon with a right foot strain. The injury happened in the 6th inning of yesterday's loss in Detroit. Josh Judy, a relief pitcher, was called up from Columbus to take Pronk's spot. 2nd time he's been on the DL this year. With Hafner on the DL, could former Indian Jim Thome be a replacement? Well, it's possible because the Twins put Thome on waivers this afternoon. Thome hit his 600th home run last week, becoming only the 8th player in baseball history to reach that milestone. Tribe's GM Chris Antonetti isn't ruling out anything.
As our needs continue to evolve, we'll continue to find ways to address them. First and foremost, we'll continue to have to look internally because we have control over those. But as the needs evolve of our major league team, when alternatives are out there, we'll pursue them to the extent we can.
OSU quarterback Terrell Pryor was selected today in today's NFL supplemental draft. Pryor was selected in the 3rd round by the Oakland Raiders. We'll be back right after this timeout.
All right, that's it for News Channel 5 at 11. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a great night.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
That's a little creepy.
Closed captioning of News Channel 5 at 11 is sponsored by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Until our next newscast, stay connected through Newsnet5.com, at home or on the go. News where you want it, how you want it, from News Channel 5, on your side.